Hi, I'm Hannah and I'm the head brewer and daughter of Thomas, the winemaker, and I really love what I do. When I was 17, I travelled to Germany because Dad's German and I went to visit the family there, and that is where I really fell in love with beer. So I came back and I decided that that's what I really wanted to do. And I talked to Dad about it, and he'd always wanted to do beer but didn't have the time, and I decided that I would take that on as my challenge. And so we started off small, and from there it's just grown, and this is what we have now. Is I've got a range of 5 beers. As a female brewer, I really wanted to make beers that were a little bit different and reflected who I am and my kind of creative side. And so I like to include also a lot of Australian flavours. So I use hibiscus or rosella flowers and a little bit of wattle seed and a few other interesting things. I'm always on the lookout for new flavours that I can use. So there's so many craft breweries popping up at the moment, which are amazing. What's really cool about us is we're so close to Brisbane, only 45 k's, but it feels like you're worlds away. We're set in a beautiful vineyard, we've got an amazing restaurant, and if you can't find a designated driver, you can even crash in one of our cabins. So all beers are made with primarily 4 ingredients. We have our hops, our grains, which is usually barley, but sometimes we can use other ones depending on the type of beer we're making. It also has yeast and water, so there are 4 main ingredients, and from there we then can decide what other adjuncts we're putting in that can create different flavours and different beers. So this is our hibiscus saison, and this is actually made with sorghum instead of barley. Most beers are barley, but this one I've gone with sorghum because it's gluten-free. And then I also had this amazing idea that I wanted it to be pink. This is my real kind of girly beer, or beer for non-beer drinkers I call it. And so this is using our hibiscus flowers, which create the pink colour when they're rehydrated. And they also add this amazing fruity tartness to the beer. So that one's kind of different. It's a little bit cross between a beer and a cider. So this one here is our What'll We Do. So it's actually a nut brown Scottish ale, and I've used wattle seeds, and I have an example of the wattle seeds here. So these ones are still green, but they've got little seeds in there that are then dried and roasted. And it's actually a really cool story how I came up with the wattle seeds. So I was researching the nut brown Scottish ales, and it turns out that traditionally Scottish ales have a lot less hops, a lot less bitterness in them, because it was too cold up in Scotland to grow them, and the English refused to sell hops to them. So they'd go out into the fields and try and find all sorts of herbs and things that they could use as a substitute. And so I thought, well, what have we got that's Australian that would go well with this beer? And I think I tried an ice cream with wattle seeds in it, and they've got this really beautiful hazelnut and kind of coffee undertones. And I thought, wow, that's going to be amazing with the beautiful maltiness of the nut brown ale. And so that's what I tried. So if you're up to tasting something a little bit different, that's still really beautiful, then definitely give the What'll We Do a try. This is our pale ale, so it's called She's Gone Pale, and it's using our 4 ingredients that we use in beer, so our barley, our hops, our yeast and our water. But to make it a little bit different and to get really amazing flavours in there, I've used 5 different hops. So all different hops have different flavour profiles. Some can be used for bittering, some can be used for their aromatic, so they're real flavours, and some can be a combination of both. And so with the pale ale, I've used mainly aromatic hops, so you get real citrus and the kind of fruity passion fruit flavours in there. Yeah, so it's a really nice, refreshing pale ale. So this one is our ginger beer, and I have this theory that a ginger beer should be a ginger beer, not a beer with ginger. And so I've made it really, really intense. We've used a lot of fresh ginger that I've boiled for quite a while to extract as much flavour as possible, and it has this really lovely heat afterwards. And I call it Ginger Junkie because it's really for those of you who are ginger junkies like me. So definitely give that one a go. So this one is our chocolate porter, which I call the French kiss. It's a little bit cheeky. We're using chocolate in with dark malt, so you get this really lovely richness. And we're also using our French oak, which I have some here to show you. So this is actually oak chips, and French oak has a really beautiful vanilla character which goes perfectly with the chocolate, which is why I've combined the two flavours. And yeah, so really rich, really decadent, but also very smooth. So if you like your dark beers, then give that one a go. So if you'd like to try my beers, then come up and have a taste in our cellar door, or you can book into the restaurant and do a beer and food tasting experience.